Welcome to Fabulous Fuckery. I'm your host, Baroness Bree. Fabulous Fuckery is your sophisticated destination for discussion on wellness, dating, family, and blurred life. Come with me while we discuss emerging fabulously in spite of life's fuckery. Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Baroness Bree, and we are recording today's episode of Fabulous Fuckery. Today's guest is Miss Adrienne Russell. Actually, let me correct myself. Dr. Adrienne Russell, owner of Chic Essentials Boutique, based out of Bowie, Maryland. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm excited for you guys. Let me tell you a little bit about Miss Adrienne. So not only is she like a ultra smart, bright, intelligent female, she's a DMV native who's also an entrepreneur, scientist, wife, mother of 3. Is it just 3?
It's just 3, and it will only be 3. There will not be any more kids.
But in addition to all of these passions, she decided she wanted to open up a boutique.
Yes.
So I don't know how you find time to manage a full-time life, a full-time mom, full-time wife, and now you have a beautiful boutique. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
She launched 2019?
This past, April.
Okay.
April, So about 7 months in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now what made you decide that you wanted to launch a clothing store?
So thanks for asking that question. I actually have been wanting to launch it for at least 10 years now, actually. So I always have been really interested in fashion, especially like in high school, you know, back in those days where you kind of starting to find yourself and figure out what your, fashion is going to be. So that's when I really got into it. Once I got into undergrad, I started kind of reading more fashion magazines, getting more into like editorials and really getting into the science behind the fashion per se. I know that was like a real corny joke because I'm a fucking scientist.
I know, I didn't. I'm like,
the science behind the fashion. And then when I got into grad school, I went here in DC to HU in 2004. That's when I was like, man, I think I want to launch a fashion boutique. I want my own business. I want my own boutique. At the time, I had just had my son. Started grad school. It was crazy. I got pregnant again with my daughter. And then I was like, all right, bitch. Pump your brakes. You not about to have no business, 2 babies, like that's a little bit too much. So I really, to be honest with you, I put it on hold for years. I made so many excuses for why I wasn't going to launch the business. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, the kids are young, I don't have time. And then, eventually this year, I said, you know what? And it actually was last year in November. I remember it clear as day. My husband was like on the couch. So my husband, guys, is like a crazy freaking sports fanatic. You know how most wives get like seasons off. I don't get any damn seasons off. So anyway, he was in the room watching football. I walked in, it was in November, and I was like, I'm starting my own clothing boutique. And he was like, wait a minute, say what? Say who? Like, yeah, okay, we talked about it, but like you just right now, I was like, yeah, I'm tired of making excuses. I'm tired of like going back and forth about it. I'm doing it. So he was like, all right, let's go. So I launched the boutique in April 2019, and here I am. So really it's been a labor of love. It's been something I've been thinking about. It's not like I woke up one day and was like, ooh, it looks hot on IG. I want to be a boutique owner. I've been wanting to be a boutique owner before IG.
Okay.
So here I am now, just trying to make it. So and the support has been overwhelming, from not just Black women but women in general. Yay. And really I launched the boutique knowing that I wanted to have something that was going to be inclusive. And that's really where it came from. So a place of love, wanting to help women, make women feel better about themselves, and making sure that the fashion would be inclusive. So
what sets your boutique apart from Jane Schmane's
from Jane Schmane's boutique? Well, I think number one is the inclusivity. That's really, again, what I based it on. We carry sizes small to 3XL.
Okay.
And they're true to size. I'm really particular about the clothing that I choose and the quality that I choose. So the secret that isn't really a secret is that most boutiques have access to the same vendors, right? So that's not something that's a big secret. I think where the difference comes in with boutiques is the quality that you choose and what vendors you go to and what relationships you build. So a lot of the vendors that I work with, they are based out of LA.
Okay.
And I just make sure that the quality is where it needs to be and that the sizing is true to size. Like a lot of times I know what I found as a consumer with shopping in boutiques is, you know, like I'm a curvy girl. I'm tall. I'm 5'8". I got a lot of curves. So I'm like a size 12. So I would think that, oh, I can wear a size large. And then the boutique shipped the shit over from China and it's a damn extra small. Like, you know what I mean? The extra large is really a small and the 3X is really an XL. So I was dead set on that when I launched the boutique. I was like, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not going to have these fake sizes that aren't real size. Like, my shit is going to be true to size.
Well, I can remember years ago, like, you like, I got this shit in here. I can't even fit here.
Right,
you take it. I'm like,
I can't get my leg through this size. Like, yeah. And then sometimes you would try to order up, like, oh, it's from China. Let me go ahead and order a size up. You still can't get your damn thigh through it. No, we're not doing that over here at Chic Essentials Boutique.
Well, I'm proud of you for making sure that quality is important, because
extremely important.
In the age of Fashion Nova, now I will say Fashion Nova is stepping up their game.
Absolutely.
And
they are.
You know,
They're
but
not stupid.
in the beginning, everybody's like, "Oh, this Fashion Nova, that's for thoughts," and it's like, but those are the only jeans that I can fit. Am I a thought? So you know, but you know, you want to have fun and you want to look cute, and I'm like, I want to look cute, and then it kind of. Instagram boutiques kind of got overtaken because the Kardashians were doing the most.
Right. Like
everybody wanted to be a Kardashian. Everybody's selling lip kits.
Exactly.
And you're like, okay, let me.
The whole fashion. And Fashion Nova got in trouble with a lot of big celebrities like Kim Kardashian as well, right? Because Kim Kardashian will go on the carpet in, you know, Gucci or Prada, whatever, Givenchy, whatever it is, and then all of a sudden Fashion Nova is like remaking the dress 5 days later, and Kim Kardashian and a lot of these other big celebrities are like, hey, you're ruining my relationship with these big brands.
Well, Versace is suing them.
Yes, Versace suing. I know, exactly. I just saw that for Versace, remaking that the J-Lo, the J-Lo dress. So, I mean, it's a line, but I definitely wanted to make sure that the clothing that I selected was timeless. I'm really big on that. And that's how I dress anyway, just in my fashion sense. I want women, if they purchase something from Chic Essentials Boutique, they can reach back in their closet 5 years from now and it still be relevant.
Okay.
Right? Not like this fad shit, like whatever's going on right now. I want it to be like, whether it's a LBD or whether it's a sweater dress, whatever it is, you can pull it out. It's still relevant. Maybe you want to add a belt. Maybe you want to add some different accessories, but it's still relevant and it's still fly.
Okay. Well, I am feeling all of that. I'm excited for you because, ladies and gentlemen, depending who's listening today, so I've known Miss Russell now for almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years.
Has it been 20 years?
Yes.
So yeah. You know, it is just crazy how you see growth in people and you see them change, and you're like, because we used to be ratchet, and you know, we used to have fun.
I'm so proud of you. Like, this is amazing.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, no, but girl, I've watched you struggle through school with a baby on your hip. You know,
2 freaking babies on my hip after that.
Bro, that was personal choices.
It was.
There's a personal. I'm talking about the first one.
All right.
It's like the rest of
control, but okay.
You know, we got to take our birth control. We got to use prophylactics. You got to do all the right things.
Be adherent to your medication. Whoever's listening, don't be like me. Don't do what Dr. Russell did.
No, you have your babies. They're amazing.
Yes, they
well cultured, trying to do big things. You know.
They off the hook too.
But you know. They all are,
yeah.
You know, and then it's funny because our kids age now, from 18 to 8?
Journey just turned 10 yesterday. She's double digits now.
10?
Journey Russell is 10 years old.
Girl, okay. So, you know, but we have this age range, and so everybody kind of grew up watching other people raise other people's kids,
right,
and you're like, I ain't gonna do that with my kid. You know, and so how do you, with being a mom and an entrepreneur and all of this stuff, how are you balancing motherhood and business life?
It's difficult as shit. Like, that's the honest answer, right? I have like great days, you know, where I'm like, I fucking killed it today. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I did whatever for work, my regular, you know, my job, my main job, and then my side hustle. And I came home and I cooked dinner, and, you know, I got the kids, and I was able to give them the attention they needed and give my husband the attention he needed. And damn, I killed it today. And then other days I'm like, you fucking suck today. Like, you didn't execute anything today that you were supposed to. So I think it's just, I'm learning to not be so hard on myself. I'm very self-critical, always have been, even as a young child. Like, I have a large amount of drive and ambition, and always wanting to, just execute goals. And I have like a list of things that I want to get done. And if I can't check everything off on that list, I go nuts. And, my husband's been a great balance to that, because he would say to me all the time, like, shit is not always going to go according to plan. Like, you have a plan, and if it doesn't go according to your plan, you go berserk, and you can't do that. So I've learned.
You forget that I was one of your bridesmaids.
Right, you were. Okay. But anyway,
I seen it firsthand.
Yeah, it's just.
But you know what? When we have an expectation for ourselves,
right, and you have a vision, and I think for me, it's hard. It's becoming easier, especially now that I'm an entrepreneur, and I realize shit really ain't gonna always go your way.
It's not.
But I haven't been in this entrepreneurial space, right? So I was used to, doing, like, I'm gonna go to school and I'm gonna get my degree, then I'm gonna go to grad school, then I'm gonna get my doctorate, then I'm gonna get a job, and I'm gonna make great money, and I'm gonna be successful. Everything has kind of gone according to plan, right? But now I decided to step out on faith and become an entrepreneur, and now I'm like, holy shit, like this it isn't playing. Like, you gotta grind every day. You don't really necessarily know whether it's gonna go your way, and you gotta be able to pivot quick. So I'll say that I'm learning and I'm growing, and I'm just learning not to be so hard on myself.
What are you doing to take care of yourself? Like, one question I ask everybody is,
I
what
love
is your self?
You ask that,
because
it's important.
It's important because I can tell you right now that there have been times where I'm like, I ain't recording no podcast episode. I ain't got time. I don't care. Ain't nobody gonna listen to it. And then I get people DMing me like,
I'm about to say, meanwhile, you got me like, Bree, when the next episode coming out, girl? I ain't seen no new episodes.
Get it together. Let me get it together. So I have a bunch in the can. They're being edited. We're about to relaunch. But what's crazy is that you don't realize your impact on another person until they say something to you. And you be out here and you don't want people to think that I'm out here being conceited. Oh, I did another photo shoot. Why she keep taking pictures every week? People just look at it and they don't realize it's branding, that it's a business, and you have to say, okay, let me take a step back, because you will burn yourself out.
And they don't know everything that goes into it, right? They see these gorgeous pictures or whatever online on IG, and they don't realize that was like a 4-hour photo shoot, or you were twirling. My husband been running around with his iPhone 11 during girl. He has cursed me out on so many Sundays, football Sundays. I mean, lovingly cursing
because it's supportive. You making a check.
He's told me, like, look, we got to stop scheduling these photo shoots on Sunday. Okay, like, I love you. I know you got a business, but we're going to have to figure this one out because it's football Sunday. And I'm like, yeah, but that's the only day I'm available. But anyway, back to your question, self-care. So I regularly get my nails done, every 2 weeks. I get my hair done once a month. So I try to keep myself up and looking nice. Also, like, for a branding perspective too, right? You can't be looking raggedy and you talking about something, you own a boutique and do you want to come and buy fashion with me, and you don't necessarily look fashionable or nice. So I try to keep myself up. One thing that I'm going to start doing more of, or I want to start adding more into my my exercise regimen or whatever, is yoga. So I feel like I need to meditate more, and I don't know, be one with the fucking earth or something. I don't know. Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even practice yoga, so I can't say sorry if there's any like yogis out there listening. I'm disrespecting yoga, but I like yoga. I need to learn more about yoga and more about meditating, and I want to start getting massages more, just like other ways to relax. I feel like the nail and hair thing is a nice way for me to like get away from the kids and just get away and have my me time. But I've been doing it for so long, I feel like it's become part of my regular.
It is. It's part of a maintenance.
Right. It's part of my maintenance, so I don't necessarily feel like it's self-care. So I would say on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm doing a pretty shitty job right now for self-care, probably a 4.
God, okay.
But I'm getting there. Okay. I'm getting there.
Well,
and I'm aware of it.
And give yourself, I always tell everyone, give yourself grace. Like, it's all learned behavior. Like, I had to learn yoga. Right. I had to learn to meditate. Like, I have an app on my phone that makes me slow down. My Apple Watch gives me the ding to tell me to drink water or to breathe.
See, that's
so, it's like gotten to a point because, with my day job, and then I got the jobby, and, this hobby turned into, I'm like, wait a minute, y'all demanding stuff. I'm gonna get paid to do this. So, but you have to say, okay, how bad do you want to get your message out? How bad do you want to connect with other people? Because I love people.
Me too.
And, you want to sit and you want to talk to people, and then next thing you like, this could have been a goddamn podcast episode. I'm not talking to people for free anymore. And,
listen.
but, it gets to the point where it's like, you're sitting here and you're chit-chatting with somebody, and you're like, Right. And then you can't, then they get here and they get all nervous and then it's not organic as it was when it wasn't a microphone.
Well, you know how I was before this interview because this is my first podcast interview, you all. But yeah, before I came here, you know how I was. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what you gonna ask me. What should I say? You like, girl, bring your ass in here and we just gonna talk and either you gonna get it or you not gonna get it. I'm not telling you what I'm asking you. You gonna come in here and we gonna talk.
Bro, because when you are nervous, you practice your answers.
It's true.
And then it becomes an auto response.
Right.
Like,
there's not two robots talking on a damn
right,
podcast.
but for what I do for my day job, I have to know my automatic response because if you are misquoted, that's your ass. But if you know, me being myself, if I'm coming here, my name is Bree and I'm a podcast host and I'm
the Fabulous Fuckery
exactly
podcast.
Creative entrepreneur. You're like, what the fuck is this dry shit? This is not the lady I met when she was acting up on the bar. So.
Right.
Life is more, there's a duality to all of us.
Right.
So, you know, you have your professional, then you can code switch and do what you got to do. We have our way of making our day job. And then we got to come home at night and, you know, have fun.
That's the scientist in me, right? Wanting to know, like, because that's what I do on a daily basis when I'm educating.
And then she's a Cancer, y'all. So she's a scientist and a Cancer.
Cancer, stand up. Where y'all at? Don't come for cancers like that, water signs. We are bomb.
I'm a water sign. I'm a Pisces.
Oh, that's right. So don't do that.
I'm a fishy. But, you know, I'm just, you know, I'm too, you know, you be like, I need you to get it together. What are you doing? What's happening?
Cancers and Pisces get along. My mom's a Pisces. I love Pisces.
I know, but so it's good to have people in your life like Adrienne that's like, okay, I see you doing all these things. What are you doing? This is cute. What's the purpose of these things?
That's
I'm like,
cute.
And I'm like,
where's the coin attached to
and
that?
she's always been
doing?
that person that's been like, oh, that's really nice, honey. So what does that do? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just doing it because it's pretty. You know, like, she's watching me like I'm coming to my house, like doing arts and crafts, spray painting shit in the garage.
Right.
She's like, what the fuck is this? I don't know. I just felt it.
But isn't it crazy how like I could be your accountability partner, but then I need you, and I have other people that hold me accountable.
You have to, and then everyone can check you in different ways.
Absolutely.
And you know, some people that do like, bitch, da 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 da, and then somebody else call me bitch, like I will stab you. I'm from Baltimore, so you know, it's just that whole like, who are you talking to?
You don't know my origin,
right? And you know, you talk to people, and my whole thing is that I meet everybody where they are.
Yes.
And unfortunately, some people you have to leave them where you found them.
Listen,
but
can we get some snaps? This snap's probably loud as hell right now, but yes, girl, leave them where they at.
You know, we're in periods of growth, and you know, and Adrienne has been here I went through a crazy divorce, y'all. We'll talk about that. It's going to be in my book. And you know, but it's just been, you know, she was just like, I'm gonna stand back and see what happened because this sounds real crazy right now. And then you know, you get the text message, okay, girl, all right, I see, okay, some things, okay, and you know, it's just it's good to have someone who is accountable and they know your character.
Right.
And you know, when a person cares about you and knows your character, then you know that you're going around the right path.
Yeah.
But when you're dealing with people who just know the surface level, the IG level,
Lord.
you know, that is just where you get into trouble because people start to feed and believe their own hype.
Yep.
And you know, it's like, oh girl, I got whatever many followers on Instagram.
The surface shit drives me crazy.
But are they buying anything from you?
Listen, I said that the other day. I was talking to a friend. I'm like, you know, obviously the purpose of having a business or a platform is you want to get your platform or business in front of new eyes, right? In front of new people which will then probably gain more followers. But at the end of the day, is that converting to profit?
Right.
Because I could have 1 million. I mean, you know the story about what's the girl had 1 million followers and couldn't sell a damn t-shirt.
I think she sold like 3 t-shirts.
Now that's crazy.
And what's crazy to me.
So yeah, that it means nothing.
But also there's a power in your network. Not everybody may buy from me.
Right.
But they may say, hey, there's this thing I listened to that's pretty cool. Here.
They support you or share or
you know,
word of mouth is still huge.
It's crazy to me, the older women that are like, you have a dirty word in your podcast. I love it. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, and so now people are asking me for merchandise. So that's something that I'm working on for 2020.
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't know if I want this to be my final logo because that's when the perfectionist part come in. I don't know if I want this on a sweatshirt. I don't know if I want this. You know, do I really want my kids wearing shirts that say fuckery? Right. So, you know, I got the clean version. We got the dirty version. And it's interesting, you know, but my brand is cussing and carrying on, so that's how the name came.
And that's okay. I mean, look at Gary V, right?
Right.
I mean, he's wildly successful entrepreneur. I love him, respect him, follow him. He has all these millions of followers on all these different platforms, and he is exactly who the fuck he is. He curses. He doesn't give a fuck. Fuck, like literally all day.
Right. And you know what's,
and people love it.
It's funny to me
because it's genuine.
But you hear about respectability and I can't tell you how many messages I've gotten from family members that is not who you are and your mother would be disappointed. Wait a minute, bitch, my mom been dead 20 years. What you're not going to do is tell me what somebody who's no longer here is going to say. And actually, I know for a fact that my family would be like, oh yes, get the coins. Right. Be yourself.
Exactly.
Be yourself. Don't whore yourself out.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happens is that you have all these people that are doing all this crazy stuff and you're like, who are you?
And you can tell, and it's so interesting because your followers or whoever's tuning into your station or YouTube channel or IG for that day, they can tell that it's not you. Like, right. I mean, it's so obvious that it is not you and you're not being genuine. So, and I went through this before I launched the business. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to present myself to the world? And I'm one of those people that is very social, but then when I'm around a lot of people, I get nervous, which is crazy, but that's just kind of who I am. And I'm still like coming out of my shell in that way. I'm one of those, what do they call it? Extroverted introverts. I'm definitely that. So I was like, oh my God, how am I going to present myself? What am I going to do? And then I really realized, like, you know what, fuck, I don't have time to be one. Like, I'm just going to be myself, and people will hopefully love me for who I am. And those that, don't, then that's fine. Then they'll scroll past and follow the next person. I guess, I'm not sure.
And in the meantime, go buy her clothes. They're 20% off.
They are Cyber Monday. Well, y'all not going to hear this on Cyber Monday.
But, maybe another sale coming up. Maybe. The end of the year coming.
Maybe.
People want to be cute. Things happening.
Yeah.
She's like, don't be putting my stuff on sale. I'll get y'all a Baroness Bree discount. I'll let y'all know what it is on the website. But, I just want to, the fact that you are thinking about taking care of yourself more.
Yes.
It's important. It's hard.
It's very hard.
It's so hard. But, I just started listening, to be honest with you, like meditation music, that like Zengard music.
Zengard? Is that what? Okay.
And then just cutting my phone off. And,
that's good.
And also, because these magical iPhones have that do not disturb button on it.
You're right.
So only people that can get on my faves, and the faves are only the kids. Those are the only ones, because that's what they call it, your faves on your phone. So
yeah, no.
So that's the kids. Because I had so many people down as favorites, and then they calling. You think something is emergency, and it's like, hey, what channel does Ellen come on? Or you're like, this mom.
Girl, did you catch the new episode of Power? Bitch, bye.
You're right, and it's like, I am writing. So I just, I've had to break, and I've kind of feel like I've cut myself off from a lot of people, and it's not on purpose. It's just that I'm building, like something is inside of me, and I can't explain it.
It makes total sense.
So you kind of like, okay, yes, you see me out on every once in a while, but I can't go out every night and write a book. I can't go out every night. Making a podcast episode is exhausting. I gotta make graphics and shit, y'all. And then you gotta put the graphics, and you gotta email the graphics to people, and then they don't be posting shit when you tell them to post it. Oh. And then you gotta text them, be like, hey, you get the graphic. And I'm like, yeah, how do I post it? And I'm like, you just post it on Instagram. What I'm supposed to say? It was on the graphic. So, it's just, you're going back and forth. And so now I have like a whole thing where it's all written out and emailed, and, you get your thing. Oh, thank you so much for being a guest. Here's the address. I'm just trying to get organized from
systems.
We have to have the systems in place, because if not, I literally the first season was spinning around in a circle, confused, because I'm like, okay, today is Wednesday and the podcast started today, and technically everything should have been in place the week before.
I'm coming out of that season. There's still some systems I need to put in place.
And then you tweak it and you figure it out. And people are like, because the first thing I always start is the database. Right. So like I have a database for everything, and people are like, she always building databases. Guess what? I like data. I'm a data nerd at heart. And so it's like, okay. And then once you get organized, everything else falls in place. Right. And then I have my graphic design student, Mr. B3. So he's always like, Mom, I have an idea for how to tweak or something. Yes, so he's been thinking about graphics, and I'm like, I'm waiting for him to get some polish on it. And he's thinking about what that looks like for him in the future.
That would be amazing.
And so it's just weird when you have another kid. He had cancer too, so he went perfectionist. And I'm like, honey, if you keep it in your heart, it's not going to happen. Right. So then, it's hard having a male, and you're sitting there talking to him about what he wants his goals to be, and he feel like he got to give me the final product. And I'm like, so he just went in there, whiteboarded it out, was like, this is what I want. I'm like, look at that. That's the plan.
Exactly.
And now and then it's like, holy crap, I got an 18-year-old.
I know.
When did that happen? So, he's
like, well, Jason being 16. It's the same thing. It's just like, where did the time go?
So, it's semi-grown. So, and it's funny because you sit there and you think about also your branding, because even though my kids and their friends know Miss Bree is going to drink red wine, she's going to cuss.
Red wine's always going to be involved.
Exactly, right. So we're going to drink red wine. There's going to be cussing. I'm going to tell somebody they not shit. I'm going to tell them something. And, and their friends come over and they're like, tell us about life, Miss Bree. And, I have a whole bunch of kids. And actually, they're going to come and do an episode. I'm going to have all my little house, because my son's friends come and hang out.
Oh,
so when they come back for Christmas break, we're going to come do an episode. And
oh my gosh, I love that.
Talk about just what it's like.
I'm definitely tuning in for that.
Yeah, because, we were talking about what makes our family tick.
Right.
And every family operates differently.
Yes.
And I know, for the love of everything, we are not traditional at any means. But they have an understanding. If we don't go to church, you watching it on TV. Your phone, if you are in church, would not be in your hand. It's the Bible app. You watching YouTube while church.
Right.
No, cut your phone off. So, it's
read
just
some scriptures.
So it'll be about our little traditions and getting through divorce and what are we doing to keep them from driving me crazy and me driving them crazy.
Yeah,
so.
I love that. I think it's important to have those type of conversations. There's an audience out there that needs to hear those type of conversations.
But raising black boys, like raising all our black children, but I'm raising a boy, a man of color in today's society.
Yeah.
And things are rough, and he went to go see Queen and Slim, and he came back so disappointed because he went to see it and it didn't end it the way he wanted it to. And he's like, Ma, all this hype, I'm tired of them hyping up movies and it's not what I wanted it to be. And I'm like, well, how do you write the movie you want to see? Yeah. And now it's turned into him taking my writing books. Wait a minute, sir, I'm using that. I got bookmarks in that. So you got my Stephen King on writing. Talking about I'm learning how to write.
So, Ma, you done lit a fire up.
Like if I got
something I'm trying to do right now.
Baby writer, I'm like, oh shit.
Exactly.
So, but you got your son, and now he wants to follow in the medical footsteps and do some stuff.
Yes, he wants to be a veterinarian. So he's all excited. He loves animals. He always has.
So does he be poking the dog and stuff?
He doesn't poke the dog, but he does. Strangely enough, he'll watch surgery videos on YouTube. Like them cutting open. I'm like, okay, all right. And he's been doing that for a while. Ew. So, I mean, he has been saying since he was 5-6 years old, he wanted to be a veterinarian. He's still
it's
going strong with it.
Like, our kids can learn. They're learning all this stuff from YouTube. And so now I'm to the point, I'm kind of happy. There's a new ad called Copa.
Right.
And so if it's not branded for kids, so for the ones that are under 13, you can mark it so they can't see it. Thank God.
That's for Journey, because she's always trying to jump on something. And I'm like, get off that damn YouTube channel.
Yeah. And, but this is what the future is. And now we're turning away from an influencer-based social media to a content-based social media.
Oh, yeah.
And now you got our kids. I was telling the boys, I said, we had all but like 2 letters of the Encyclopedia Britannica because either the salesman got locked up for fraud or whatever. So now it's like, you be like, oh, okay, what do you want to do for your science experiment? And Brent is like, oh, I Googled this kid's science experiment. I liked it.
Yeah.
No, you can't copy someone else's.
That's the same. Yeah, my kids was that. I went to this website and I'm like, hold on now. We have to have an original idea. We can use this, just to look at it. We can use this to kind of think and help us move to the next level, as inspiration. You can't be copying and pasting shit. Like, I went to sciencebuddies.com. If you don't get your ass off that damn site. And yet, like you said, we had to research when we were growing up. We actually had to go into the library and look. These kids wouldn't know the Dewey Decimal System if it hit them in the damn head.
They
like
took
they
the
would know
card
any of that
catalogs
shit.
out. And it's the scrap paper. So I used to work in the library, and I had to type up the little stupid cards.
Right.
And they handed it to me as my scrap paper. And the lady's like, are you okay? And I just took a whole stack. She's like, why are you taking a stack? I said, my summer job was typing these things. For a whole summer. That was my first real summer job, was typing the little card catalogs and getting in trouble because the space was wrong. These kids don't even know what the 728s or the life sciences series.
And they're so used to getting answers like right away and I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if it is, whether it's a good. I love that they have access to the technology and everything, but then at the same time, it's like they just don't know how to do the research. Then you ask them a question and they just stuck, like they don't know what to do next. I'm like problem solve. Use your problem solving skills. Like, I'm not giving you the answer. Figure it out.
Can you cite YouTube as a source? Like, is that Wikipedia? Because, I mean, it's just a bunch of people's opinions.
A lot of the assignments that my kids have now that come home, they actually have guidelines for citing, you know, sources online because they know that that's where the majority of the sources are coming from.
But any idiot has a YouTube channel.
I don't know about YouTube specifically.
I'm just thinking, like, can I say
online references? Definitely.
How did you learn to be a podcaster? Well, I watched so-and-so 111, and that's my reference, and I got
somebody gonna be citing Fabulous Fuckery soon, probably.
One day.
They gonna make their own website.
But, you know, I don't want nobody to be like, I got a PhD in Fabulous Fuckery, and I said something that's wrong. You know, it's like I just don't know. It's just trying to make the kids free thinkers.
Yes.
And that's what the little one does robotics and all that weird stuff. And, you know, he loves it. And it's not weird. I'm sorry. STEM engagement is not weird. But after a while, you're like, why don't you go play soccer? Or, you know, let's go get you
That's how Journey is, though. I told you that she's not into, you know, so Jason, you know, my oldest did football and lacrosse, and Jakai is a competitive cheerleader. But Journey has just never been into that. She likes computers. She likes the tech stuff. She, you know, likes designing and coding and playing, you know, Roblox and all these other little games. And that's what she's into. And she's tried sports, but it doesn't grasp her attention like the tech does. And she likes to write. Like she said, she wants to be an author. She writes all these little books. Yay. And I mean, it's so many different things that she does, but she's just not into traditionally what we would expect, you know, a child to be into.
They are mimicking what they see, and they have excellent role models at home. So, you know, I think it's so dope that they're all following their own path and that y'all allowing it, because it's really hard to be that parent, like, well, your brother did so and so, you're gonna do it too.
Yeah, no.
And so I'm trying not to do that and say, okay, do your thing, figure it out. Which is hard, because sometimes it's like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
And, you know, but you also don't want to use that word. So
my
first reaction sometimes is like, really? That sounds like that's going to waste a lot of my money this summer. Can we pick a camp that's tried and true? Mom, I'd like to go to so-and-so camp. And
with both of us my husband and I both having science backgrounds, but only one of our 3 children is interested in science. Like Jakai wants to do real estate and interior design, and that's kind of what she wants to do. And I mean, Journey, she's 10. We don't really necessarily know yet, but she's saying she wants to be an author so they're not really into the sciences. Only our oldest son is into STEM, and I see so many parents in the area that we, you know, live in that, you know, they're like pushing their kids into STEM, almost forcing their children into STEM because they want to say, oh, my child goes to such and such science and tech school. My child goes to such and such STEM school. Is your child even interested in that?
All I know,
you know, so I think it's just important to listen to them. It's okay to expose them.
It's okay.
But then when you see that it's not going to work out, then you need to move on to something different.
All I know is I know a lot of people. I went to one of those specialty VOTEC schools in Maryland and Western Tech in Baltimore County, and we were all burnt out,
right?
Because all AP classes, everybody's trying to, you know, and some people are like following their dreams and whatever they went to school for. Good for you, congratulations. And then it's like some of us in the burnout corner because our brains are fried because we were pushed. And I think sometimes that gifted and talented stuff, it's okay, but we got to find balance.
Always has to be balance.
So now I'm watching the youngest one, and he's in middle school, and he's in gifted and talented, and he comes home at night, and he just looks confused for like the first hour after school every day. And I'm like, they jacked you up. You got fucked up.
Yeah.
So, you know. And you're like, all right. But he's doing it. We're learning balance. I'm teaching him meditation because he's a little ball of energy. Wait, he's March 28th.
Oh, okay.
So what is that, an Aries?
Is it? Yeah, I think
something like that. So he's just hard-headed and wound really, really tight. And you be like, I need him to chill. But, you know, I have to be careful with how I talk about them on podcasts because, you know, you can Google and look for your name.
Right, exactly.
And, you know, that's a whole nother thing.
See what my mother
said about, what did my mom say about?
What was said?
Right, and that's the thing. Like, what we do online is a digital legacy. It's forever. So we have, so we got to think about that. But I want you to say, I want to say thank you for coming. I wish you all the success for everything you're doing. And I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
So tell the listener friends where they can find you.
So you can find me on Instagram at Chic Essentials Boutique, and website is www.chicessentialsboutique.com. And you can also find me on Facebook as well.
You can find a link to her information in our show notes for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me, sis.
And I am Baroness Bree. As normal, you can find me at Fuckery on Instagram. You can find me at Baroness Bree on literally every online platform. And we'll talk soon. Bye.